Here.
Howard.
Here.
Chair. Vice Chair Bean.
Ben's here.
Secretary South here. Lauren Smith.
Here.
Jennifer London.
Here.
Okay. Any announcements or correspondence?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. I have one announcement from as required by the State of Michigan Health Department, social distancing and wearing masks in a public place is required. And that's it. On to the order of business. Approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any changes or? Okay, not hearing any, we'll somebody make a motion to approve the minutes.
I move we approve the agenda as is.
Second?
Second that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item number 2. Addison Township Public Library Site Plan Application Review. Parcel ID number 05-27-256-009 and 05-27-254-007. The applicants are here.
Yep.
Jim, I also understand is your engineer on the phone?
No, so
The phone?
he was in person today.
Oh,
So you
okay.
have is the civil engineer, the architect, and project manager. So
Okay.
they may speak up at moments for
Okay.
questions.
Well, I guess at this time, do you have a statement you'd like to make or anything to,
Oh, we didn't approve the minutes.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
We
Oh,
approved the agenda.
oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. Let's step back then for a minute. Approval of the minutes of the meeting for April 2021.
I move that we approve them as they are.
Can I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay. Now we'll go to item number 2. Sorry about that. Well, do you have a statement you'd like to make to open the meeting or anything that you'd like to bring up at this time?
Nothing in particular.
Okay. Any comments from the board?
Yeah, I got a number of questions. I reviewed the material. I'm new on the board. So I'm playing catch up on this. I don't have the advantage the other members had with previous meetings that you guys had. There's some things that really jumped out at me that I'd like to get some clarification on.
Sure.
Number 1 is the stormwater management. I read all the information here, and it's vague to me as to, it says here in the description that due to the stormwater management system being a private system, the applicant needs to execute a storm management system agreement. Is that something that is already done, signed, and delivered, or is this just being proposed?
Where is that statement? Yeah, I'm gonna let Jason Longers from our civil engineer speak to that.
Can the
Can-
person
yeah,
speak
can
and
you please-
speak without a mask so we can understand it?
I'll stand up and speak louder. So the stormwater management agreement that you're referring to is
Could you take your mask off so I can understand you?
It's
I'm
a-
hard of hearing. Thank
it's
you.
a requirement of the project to be recorded. Generally, it's prior to final certificate of occupancy. It's an agreement that the property is going to maintain the stormwater management improvements that are being installed on the property. So that's something that we will move forward with doing at the appropriate time.
Okay, the statement at the appropriate time doesn't satisfy me.
So-
Appropriate time is after occupancy?
No, prior to
Prior to?
certificate of occupancy, but
Okay.
after the design's been finalized. We have to develop a plan that's specific to this property and all the improvements that are on the property. So it's unique to every site.
Yeah, it's very unique. Also, the runoff affects possible easements on property that would be south of the building built site, correct?
No additional off-site easements are required. We are relocating a portion of the road commission sewer that's currently discharging onto this property. So we're actually gonna be providing an easement for storm sewer to the road commission to relocate that piece, but we don't need any additional off-site easements.
Okay, so that answers that partially. So that is in process.
Correct.
All right. All right, the other item that I have a question on is the entrance application to the road commission. At this point, that's strictly an application submitted to Oakland County Road Commission, correct?
Same.
Has it been approved?
Same. So we have made two submittals, actually. We submitted a preliminary geometric submittal where they approved the layout and the location of both of the approaches. And then we've submitted for actual permit, which is in process now.
Okay, so neither one is approved at this
The
time?
preliminary geometric submittal has been approved. They were good with the design. So now they're looking at the final.
There should have been a packet, a cover letter packet provided, I believe it's
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there, that has a letter from our ZLC.
Okay,
Second one.
let's do this there.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah, I looked at, on the file here. And they approved the location that was given on your built site, which is in close proximity to the fire station and the curb coming around on Rochester Road?
Correct. Yep.
Wow.
It's directly across from this road that's coming out here. So it's just west of the fire station.
The reason I really like to know exactly how the road commission feels about that, I travel the road every day, and that's a heavily treated, heavily used road as you're coming around that corner, and boom, there's the driveway traffic coming in and out. But they have approved it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
maybe, if you're looking at the electronic copy, there should have been a second PDF that had those cover letter documents within it.
What about the septic? Is that completely, unless I missed that document too? For the health department, the septic has been totally approved?
Yes, I believe Jason could talk more, but on sheet C7, C6, or excuse me, C5, C6, and C7, it detailed out some of that.
Yep. Yeah,
So they signed off on it?
there was a preliminary design as part of the last package. After that, we did the on-site perk test, so those boring locations were shown on your plans. And once the perk tests were done, we received the parameters that they wanted us to design to. So the plans you have in front of you incorporate all of that, and those have also been resubmitted to the health department for final permitting.
Okay, so the final permit has not been established?
It has not been granted yet, but everything on the plans is heading in that direction based on their on-site.
Good. In looking at all the drawings, unless I missed it, the lighting, has there been any studies made, the lighting impact in the surrounding neighborhood, the people that live there?
So, we had a photometric drawing created for the lighting. That would have been after the landscape
What was
drawings.
the downward portion of it?
It'd be, the sheet number would be E-7100.
Right. Now, I guess, Mr. Chairman, is that something that or Rand, maybe I'd ask you that question. Is this something that has to do with the ordinance within with the township, the amount of lights submitted?
We do not have anything specific, but we have, as a condition of the resolution, we have indicated the hours of operation of the library parking lights may be subject to township limitation, so that the lights are not on all night long.
Okay, yeah, I do see that. And then there was also a restriction on the signage, right?
That's correct.
Correct. All right. Now, Now, the other thing that I read in previous minutes from other meetings, and also I was trying to find it in this packet. There was a lot of talk about a wall to separate the library from the residents living behind it. That seems to have gone away, and now it's landscaping. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Again, is this something that complies with township ordinance?
It does, the planning commission may accept a planting in lieu of a wall in this circumstance.
What are the circumstances? That would be my next question.
The circumstances that are presented is that a screening was requested, planting by the neighbor, and that is an alternate screening that the planning commission may accept if it recommends approval of the site plan. The planning commission may insist on a wall if it prefers that.
Do we have any feedback from public hearings from the neighbors?
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry.
The mask.
Pull your mask off, just for
Does the township have any records on file from public meetings from the neighbors that we're talking about that would benefit from this wall as to their feelings about this?
I think the only wall, the only resident that would be affected by the wall is the gentleman behind him. And he said he prefers the landscape wall rather than a block wall
Yeah,
to separate.
we have.
And there is a letter in here
Yeah, isn't there?
I
That's
met with
in
him,
the,
Yeah,
and I drafted the letter.
Okay. so,
yeah, okay. I apologize for all the meetings.
That's
I
all
was
right.
trying to get up to
No.
speed.
Okay.
And, all right, so if there's nothing on the ordinance side of it, and the neighbor agrees with this, is this something that we can go with then? And that's a condition of the.
We can recommend the site plan as proposed, and the township board can alter it if they are unsatisfied with the screening provided.
Is this something we have to do tonight?
If we recommend approval of the site plan, it will be as shown, which is the 10-foot screening, 10-foot high screening of.
are they 10 foot round or 12? I thought they were 12.
Thank you. There were 8. They grew to 12.
The spruce trees.
Yes.
Evergreens and swamp oak.
Some kind of spruce, according to August 26th plan.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that. The soil erosion being to the shape of the contour of the property, and also for the need of the stormwater management. There's been a study done on that, correct? Stormwater, erosion,
Yeah, there is a soil erosion plan as part of your packet.
okay, yeah, I
So,
saw that. Is that the latest?
Yeah, that's the latest and greatest, and it's
Okay.
all in accordance with county requirements.
Okay. So speaking of the latest, one thing I've noticed over the, last year, that there's been piecemealing things coming to the commission. So can I make the assumption that the packet we have at this point is complete, to the best that you know?
It is.
Yeah, one of the comments I refrained from making at the beginning, but I'll make now, is that from all the comments we've gotten from the previous meetings, I've tried to do the best job that we could as a team to incorporate all the concerns that this board has had, as well as other concerns from the community. As you saw, we spoke with the neighbor concerning the visual screening, making sure they were okay with it. Just trying to make sure we do the most honest and respectable project here. And we try to, like I said, incorporate her.
Yeah, I respect that, but, the one thing that I'm trying to get at is, this is a final agreement. This isn't a proposal, a plan. This is a final plan. This is the plan you're gonna go forward with. not a proposed concept. Yeah, I think that's all I have.
I just have one follow-up question on your management agreement. The drain that's, the road commission says is their drain, that drains onto your property, that's connected to the parking lot, to the strip store,
Yeah,
where the existing library is. Does that mean they have to be part of your management program?
No, that sewer would be separate from the stormwater management agreement. That's gonna be a public sewer owned by the road commission. That's not gonna be a library-owned sewer. So that'll be part of the Rochester Road drainage system.
So that'll be managed by the road
By
commission?
the road commission. That's not gonna be something that the library will be managing. or
I guess what my concern is if there's a oil spill or something like that on that parking lot, and it goes into the drain that is gonna be around the library also, that's gonna be the road commission's
Yeah,
responsibility?
if it flows into the road commission's sewer, it's the road commission's responsibility. Obviously, if there's a spill on this site that flows into that, they'll be calling whoever's maintaining this site to take care of their issue.
Okay,
But that'll be separate from the sewer system that we're putting in for the library parking lot.
okay. Will we get something in writing concerning that? I mean, is that
Yeah,
something?
the plans you have in front of you have it called out to be dedicated in a public easement, so that it's all public storm sewer. It's noted to the road commission on the drawings.
Okay, Eric, what did you?
Yeah, that opens back up the discussion that I initially had with the required easement. So you got the road commission owning part of it, the road commission owning part of it, and then a private company owning the other one, which is something that the library will pay for.
No,
No?
no.
Who's gonna pay for the private,
There's no private storm other than what's being proposed for the library. The stuff across the street is completely separate. This is.
no, I understand that, yeah. Are they connected, the two?
No.
They are not connected.
I guess the reason I had the question is because I thought I read in here where it was the library's these pages aren't numbered, but in the engineer's report, item 15G, I believe it is, says the stormwater management system being a private system, the applicant will need to execute a stormwater management system agreement defining the terms and conditions of the continuous operation and maintenance of the private stormwater management system by the owner.
Yeah, that's the system that we're putting in for our drainage. That's a separate system from what we're relocating from the roadway drainage.
But it all connects together.
It does not. The portion that we're relocating from the roadway goes in and it connects into another sewer that's in the street to our west. I forget the name
Okay.
of that street. There's a catch basin down there that we're rerouting the roadway sewer to. The on-site system for the library is going to a different outlet, so these will be two separate systems after
Okay.
construction.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I think I read the same thing you did. I think that's under item 22 in the engineer's report. As part of the site plan approval, the applicant will need to perform the following prior to the township board consideration. Okay, in other words, after this meeting and before the board, township board approves this.
I think what they're gonna have to do, Eric, is submit all this to our township engineer, and it'll be his approval of this before anything goes to the township board.
Okay, so in other words, if we decide that we approve that, that would be one of the considerations, like Rand was talking about earlier. Is this something, Rand, that we need to add as the consideration?
We've added it as item number 4 on our resolution.
Well, that's kind of a catch-all, though. All conditions of the latest township engineering review,
That's the May 3rd, 2021 review,
okay,
items 1 through 7 on page 10.
okay.
Anything else?
Uh,
Lawrence?
Yes,
I'm sorry, Eric, you finished?
that's fine. Mr. Bowman, do you have any comments? I know you comment if we ask you, but I'm asking you to comment.
Well, thank you for the invitation. The minutes are a bit unclear as to whether or not any roof-mounted air conditioning units will be installed.
No.
No. That's the only question I have.
That's the only question you have about the whole thing, Rand?
Yes.
Anything else, Lawrence?
No, that's all, thank you.
Any questions?
No questions?
Carol?
No.
Well, Rand, do you have any other comments?
No comments. We have prepared a resolution for your consideration, which incorporates the four concerns that Eric shared. I'd like to share that draft resolution, ask the applicant for any response to the resolution. Seek a motion to adopt the resolution, and as part of the discussion, if there are any other conditions you want to add to it, that can be done via amendment. The resolution reads as follows: whereas the Addison Township Planning Commission, ATPC, reviewed a site plan for the Addison Township Public Library, revision date April 5, 2021, as reflected in the May 11th, 21 minutes of the ATPC. Whereas the following findings of the ATPC form the basis of this resolution. Number one, the subject site plan as received on April 23, 2021 meets all applicable standards of the Addison Township zoning ordinance, ATZO, section 2905, once the conditions referenced herein are satisfactorily addressed. Number two, the site plan has been reviewed most recently at a public session of the ATPC on May 11, 21. Number three, findings as required by the ATZO have been met. Whereas the applicant has been given an opportunity to respond to these findings, whereas there has been no zoning ordinance deviation from what is permitted by the ATZO as noted herein. Now therefore be it resolved that the site plan, revision date April 5, 21, is hereby recommended for approval by the Addison Township Board of Trustees once any and all of the conditions herein noted are satisfactorily addressed. There are four conditions. One, site plan approval shall not constitute approval of the library sign other than the location of the sign. For example, moving or animated signs are not permitted, but a changeable message sign is okay. Number two, hours of operation of the library parking lots may be subject to township limitation. Number three, activities in operation of the library are subject to the special land use permit issued by the township. Number four, all conditions of the latest township engineer review, May 3rd, 2021, listed as items 1 through 7 on page 10 of that review, shall be satisfactorily met. Looking for a motion to recommend adoption of this resolution. For purposes of discussion, if there are amendments by way of additional conditions, those can be added by amendment. So we're looking for a motion to adopt this resolution as stated.
I move we adopt this resolution as printed.
Okay, we have a motion, I have a second.
I'll second it.
Under discussion, I'd like the applicant to be given an opportunity to respond to the resolution and then open it up for planning commission discussion.
I don't see any concerns with the resolution letter.
Then we'll be open for planning commission comments, discussion regarding the resolution content.
Any comments or
No.
No.
additions? Eric?
Okay, so what we talked about, the stormwater management is incorporated in item 4.
Yes, your four concerns are addressed in items 6, 4, 2, and 5 respectively.
Yeah. How, mechanism for knowing that these conditions have been met before the township meeting? Information flows to the building department, to us, or?
Information would go through the clerk to the township engineer, back to the clerk, who would verify in consultation with me that all the conditions have been met and is right for township consideration.
Okay, and the next question, again, I'm a novice on this. If the conditions are not met, it comes back to this board?
No, they just don't get on the township board until they satisfy the conditions.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
Hearing no other, we got a motion on the floor here to approve the resolution as read. Eric, if you take a roll call vote on this, please.
I sure will. Vice Chair Bean,
Yes.
Chair Jean Lewag,
Yes.
Jennifer Lundy,
Yes.
Lauren Smith,
Yes.
Secretary South, yes. Passes.
Motion passes. We'll pass it on to the appropriate people. Pass.
Thank you.
You're done with the planning commission.
Yes.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is public forum. Anybody's got anything they'd like to say? Hearing none. We have any commissioner reports?
ZBA is just status quo. We've handled everything that's been in front of us, and we don't have, we have one thing pending, 2 days from now. It's nothing real controversial. It looks like it'll be whatever, so we have, everything's in order on the ZBA.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to close the meeting.
Got a motion and a second?
Yes, second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Aye.
Eric?